I was named after my grandma, so oftentimes my dad also called me his mom. So I'll start my tribute. To summarize how much of an amazing human being and father you are is an impossible task. I tried to sit down and write from beginning to end. It was impossible. So what I did instead was think about some of the things he used to say to me and quotes he used to say to me. So what I've done in my tribute is like a high-level summary or high-level overview of things that he taught me. So I'll read the quotes. One of them is, he'd always say, plan it, and then when you go to bed, dream about it, dream about doing well. So he would say that to me the night before I had a school exam, I had a presentation to make, I had golf. So we would literally sit down and say, this is what you want to do on hole number 1 all the way to 18. Think about it, dream about it, and go and implement it the next day. Little did I know he was actually teaching me how to visualize and teaching me the power of positive thinking, which has driven me to a lot of successes I would say I've had in my life. He would say, there's nothing you cannot do if you set your mind to it. You encouraged me to aim for the sky and to always believe in myself. You expected excellence, and rightfully so, because you worked hard to ensure you sent us to the best schools and exposed us to as many opportunities and experiences as possible. I have been told sometimes when I walk into a room, when I started working, that for a young girl you have a lot of confidence, a lot of confidence. Where do you get that from? That confidence came from my father. Most importantly, he led by example. He led by example. I'll give an example here. My dad always used to say, he expects excellence. He expects us, when we finish university, we all must get our master's degree by the age of 25. He gave us a target, and we all did get our master's degree. But I recall when I was in my 3rd year of law school, and he kept on saying, so have you started applying to universities? Have you started looking into what you want to do? Have you started thinking about what you want to do? I told him, I don't know, I'm not sure about doing a master's immediately after. He said, no, you must. And I said to him, but you didn't. I asked him, where's your master's? After I said that, my father immediately enrolled for an MBA. He enrolled for his MBA, and he also encouraged my mother to do the same. So in 2014, when I was graduating with my Bachelor of Law and also my Bachelor of Arts, I also did International Relations at USAU, because I couldn't decide what to do, so I ended up doing both. When I graduated with my bachelor degrees, my parents also graduated with their master's degrees in the same year. So there was no excuse. Later on in life, he said the same thing. I need a PhD from at least one of you. At least one of you. And he always pointed to me, you're the lawyer, you know. I need a PhD from you. And I asked him again, where's your PhD? My dad actually started the application process. Unfortunately, because of his sickness, he was not able to complete that dream. He always used to ask me, how was your day? I know it sounds cliche. We ask a lot of people, how was your day? But my dad did not accept it was fine. He didn't. He always pushed me to know every little detail, what happened in my big age, any presentation, especially when I had like speaking presentation related to my master's, for instance. He'd always ask me, how did it go? Tell me about it. Did you present well? Did you make us proud? Because for him, what we did and how we did it, it wasn't just him, it was the family brand name. Every New Year's Eve, when we sat down, he would ask us, what do you want to achieve? How do we help you achieve it? Because it's the brand that you're excelling. We call our name, our family name, the brand. So my dad probed me to tell me about it all, the good, the bad, the ugly. Some people seem to think he didn't talk much. My dad talked a lot, and he would just sit and make you laugh the most ridiculous jokes that you did not even think about. But he was very chatty. He was chatty with the people he enjoyed being chatty with. You celebrated my wins louder than I did myself, and always reminded me to stay confident in myself and my abilities during the low moments. Thank you for always being there to listen to me, for giving me the best advice, and for guiding me in every season of my life. My dad has been there for me my entire life. This last 1 year, he got a bit ill. When he got ill, I sort of also slowed down with all the many things that I would do, spend time with him, just talking to him about everything and anything. Honestly, I am so grateful for those moments. My dad was literally my best friend. Every weekend, I can count probably 3 weekends away from him, but I spent every weekend last year just with him and enjoying, conversation, having good meals, etc. Call me anytime. It's something we always used to say it. And he didn't just say it, he meant it. He always picked my calls. It did not matter where he was, who he was with at the time that I called. He always picked my call. It doesn't matter who he was with, whether it was an ambassador. He would pick my call and say, oh, I'm here with so-and-so. My daughter has called me. And then he would go ahead to talk about how great I am. I have a degree, a master's. Always took the opportunity to tell them about me. And I recall being anxious during the election periods, in particular 2017, because I was not in the country. I was away for my studies. And I told him, I kept calling him. My dad picked my calls every single time. And when I say I was calling him literally almost 28 times a day because I was very anxious about the whole situation. And he said, I'll pick your call, but the only time I cannot pick your call is when I'm at a press conference. And I say, that's okay, because at least I'll be seeing you on TV, so I'll be at peace. He always used to say, and this he said quite a lot, especially during the last year or so, the words giving up are not in our family's vocabulary. The words giving up are not in our family's vocabulary. Whenever I had a situation to deal with, he always used to say, yes, Rachel, you're a strong Bukusu girl. Giving up is not an option. And it's not just what he said, it's also how he lived his life. It applied to how he raised us, it applied to how he did his work, and it applied to how we played golf together. And more importantly, it applied to how he tackled his diagnosis when it came, when he was given. When he was diagnosed with glioblastoma, which is the most aggressive brain tumor cancer that exists. They told us there's no cure, but what we can do is we can actually just, he would surgery with chemotherapy, try our best to extend his life. He was given 4 to 6 months to live. That's what the doctor said. And my dad said, this sickness is not going to beat me. He went, got his first surgery, thanks to His Excellency the President. My mom will be the one to give the thank yous on that. And he got his first surgery, came back home. You would not have noticed. He set up a home gym. He was in gym every morning, every evening. He was walking 5 kilometers every morning. He continued with his work. all these presentations that my brother Emmanuel talked about in the eulogy, where you went to Portugal, you went to etc. Interesting enough, that was the second tumor recurred in November of 2023. My dad's conferences, everything was already set up. We asked him, do you want to go? He said he has to. He's already planned for it. The sickness is not going to put him down. So he went for them, and what we agreed was each of us took shifts. We all accompanied him on at least one of them, just in case anything was happening, to help him take his medicines. Anyone who has experience in cancer, you know that the medicines are a whole, it was an entire hand luggage bag. So we accompanied him, and my dad did his presentations. After the presentations, he would be extremely tired, so just want to sleep. But you would not tell that during the presentations. And he did not want anyone to know. He did not want people to feel bad about it. So we kept it as a family. And I think the very first time we spoke about the cancer was when he passed on. So another thing I would like to say on the giving up. In 2017, there was a lot of calls for him to resign. And of course, at that point, I was much younger. I was scared for my family. I was scared for his life. Of course, he wasn't going to resign, but I said, please, if it just for us, you know. Come 2022, I was with him. I was now here. On the day, just a moment before he went to Bomas to announce the results. At that time, he had already received intelligence that somebody had wanted to end his life to stop him from announcing the results. So we sat together, the pastors prayed, and I hugged my dad, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I said to him, you don't even need to say anything, because I know you're going to stand for the truth. I know you're going to stand for Kenyans. I said to him in 2017, I was selfish. I asked you to resign for me. But in 2020, this for you, I know you need to do it for the country. You need to do it for the country. So we looked at each other without really saying much, but knowing that might have been the last time we would have seen each other. I had never seen my dad cry. My dad shed a tear. So I said bye to him, and I said, whatever it is, we will stand by you. And I hugged him, and I said, you go do your thing. I handed him over his speech, which, by the way, I used to assist him a lot with drafting his speeches. He used to trust us as a family also. Emmanuel would assist him in IT stuff as well. So the speech I drafted with him, I handed it over to him. I said, it's a great speech. So all the best. Whatever happens, happens, but we are proud of you either way. He didn't read the speech, by the way, because there was so much chaos at Bomas. But the speech he made was so impactful. He actually came home and he said, he didn't even remember what he said. He actually did not, because it was in a moment, that was him. That was him in his moment. It was such an impactful speech. He came home, he didn't remember what he said. He took off his shoes. He was actually bleeding. He didn't even know he was bleeding. Like, this was just my dad. Get the work done, which he got done. And he was just proud to have done his duty and stood with the truth and stood with his conscience. Because he always said, what he does is for his legacy. And it's not just his legacy, it's our name as well. The people whom carry his name, the people who carry his name will live with that. So he was not going to do anything that would endanger our lives. So he stood by the truth, and I'm extremely proud of him for that. I recall telling him, after all that if I could just be half of who you are, I think I'll be great. I'll be a successful person. I'll be amazing. And he stopped me and he said, Rachel, you're not going to be half of me. You're going to excel. You're going to be way better than me. You're going to do more than I've ever done. Because that's what I want you to do. My dad believed in improving and improving people, improving us, giving us the best of their lives. Even though he was a young man, grew up in Bungoma, he always gave us the best. Always bought us the best of things. I will miss having you to speak with. I will miss your presence and your hearts. I will miss your witty sense of humor. I will miss discussing the law, politics, and international affairs with you. Allow me to sidetrack for 1 second. My dad used to discuss law, politics quite a lot. 2017, he lost the election. 2007, he lost the election in Sabata, this constituency, formerly known as Sabata. And he had so many things that he was saying. If I was chair, I would have done this. If I was chair, I would have done this. Because he felt like the elections were stolen from him. So when the IBC job was advertised, I recall the first time, very few people applied. So I think they did not have enough people to shortlist. So the second time, him, his colleagues, everybody, especially me, kept on saying, this is for you. I kept on telling Daddy, remember all those times we've talked about what you would do, how you embrace technology in elections, how you embrace this and that. I know being a judge was where he wanted to go, but even he ended up applying for this, and he got it. So he always used to say I was the one who pushed him into it. I don't think I pushed him. I think he just did what he had to do, and I just encouraged him the way he would have encouraged me to do anything that I wanted to do. You never stopped learning. You were always eager to read another book, another article, attend another course. As soon as my dad's second surgery came up, he was back to reading. Because I think at this time he had applied for the Court of Appeal job. He had been back, he started reading law books. There's some he ordered from Amazon, which were delivered to Germany. 2 days after surgery, like he was really back to that, improving himself, how he was going to be a great judge, so he always just wanted to improve himself. I will miss playing golf with you, Daddy. I will miss our weekly Sunday golf days, which are my favorite childhood memories. You'll always be my favorite golf partner because we always took the risky shot and we would often succeed because it all starts with being confident and believing in self. And when we missed the shot, we remained confident in our ability to make a remarkable recovery. Giving up was never an option, never. It did not matter how badly we were, whether we were 5 down. We always had confidence we were going to win the match play. I am eternally grateful that God blessed me with you as my father. I promise to continue to espouse the values instilled in me and to pass them over to my future children. You've been the epitome of love. Love for family, love for the law, and love for country. You have lived your life with purpose, with determination, with courage, and with diligence. Your pursuit of justice is unmatched. You have broken records, defied odds, and were never afraid to stand in your truth, even if it meant being an outlier. All in all, I am glad and grateful that you also lived a full life, as you always remembered to spare time to enjoy it, whether it be on the course, going on holiday, traveling to play different golf courses, spending time with family. He enjoyed his life, besides work. All these traits and more have shaped me into the person I am today. I will forever carry your legacy with me. I love you, Daddy. Being your daughter is the greatest honor of my life. Thank you.